afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, November 30th. This month is over today, 2022, after 3 p.m. Eastern. Tonight at 9 p.m., we'll be having a time for change call on the status of planet Earth. What the current authentic, raw, real situation is. With all the poof and all the poofiness. Success does not come to you, you go to it. Marva Collins. Success doesn't come to you, you go to it. We all set intentions for all kinds of stuff. Most of the time, our intentions are not conscious. You're setting an intention is something we all have done in the past, and we all have the ability to do. Most of us haven't learned exactly how to control it. That's the key right there. We flail around and we do all kinds of intentions and everything. Yet. We haven't gotten there yet. Maybe a few. So today we're going to go into the specifics about how we can manifest whatever we want in our lives through the amazing power of intention that we already have. This isn't something that we go learn about or we go get or we buy. It's something all of us inherently possess. You can absolutely engage right now by noticing where these images about your life are coming from. Where are they coming from? They've got to be coming from somewhere. Even when you look deep enough, you'll see that something in you is constantly directing your attention towards what you want. Makes sense, right? Something inside of you, it's like a constant directing your attention towards what you want, and thus consistently attracting it into your life. Whether it's that same constant argument with your best friend about religion, the feeling that you really do deserve a better job, or perhaps that dream car, house, or bank account you wish you had. Your mind is always focusing on something. Whatever we place our thoughts, wherever, right? Wherever we place our thoughts and whatever we place them upon is where the manifesting energy flows. It's a universal law. It's a knowing with all of us. Whatever we place our thoughts upon is where the manifesting energy flows, which incidentally create the exact situations and circumstances of our future. The exact situations and circumstances of our future. When we come to know what we really, really, really want to have in our lives, most of us don't. We think we do. We simply relax our body and focus our entire life energy into the direction with the feeling, right? Our deepest desires is about to be fulfilled. Our minds will just go there automatically when the feeling is ripe and alive, which brings us to the first golden key to manifesting, learning how to set a positive intention. You could have a positive intention 1 minute, right? Something occurs and it all goes to hell in a handbasket. right out the window, right down the toilet. We all do that. If we don't change, we don't grow. Okay? And what's funny is that we're always changing. The body and our surroundings. The God's not, because God is divine perfection. So if we don't grow, we are not really living. Growth demands a temporary surrender of security. Gail Sheehy. That's true. But see, many of us get insecure. We start going, wait, I can't, having this is too big of a change. It's overwhelming for me. You ever experienced that where something happens and everything's upside down. Everything changes. It's like a blink of the eye. 1 minute this is going and everything, and you feel fine, and everything's in place as far as you're concerned, and then everything's turned upside down. Actually, even though we wouldn't care to have that, because we're so used to being in our comfort zones, it's a good thing about 99% of the time. It just depends on how we respond to it. Intention is a profound mind-body decision to do, be, or have something in our future. Intention is a profound mind-body decision to do, be, or have something in our future. It is the strongest feeling we can muster inside, as if we were saving our baby from a fire. That level of commitment, resolve, and purpose is the absolute key. There is the full desire that, quote, this is what I am doing with my heart, mind, and body right now, end quote. And nothing else matters. When we set an intention, we are proclaiming to this universe that we have made up our minds. When we set an intention, we are proclaiming to this universe that we have made up our minds and are firm upon what we really want, and that's it. This universe greatly rewards people who know what they want and are relaxed about it on the inside. That's crucial. Many of us know what we want to a certain extent, but we're not relaxed inside. We're stressed, worried, fearful that what we want won't happen. Because if we already know on some level that it's already going to manifest for us, we can trust, let go, and be a ball of loving light for all. We can trust that it's already happening and nothing can stop it from coming to us. Trust is the real kicker here. It's paramount. Why do you think so many of us have so many challenges? Because we doubt and we don't trust ourselves or this universe. Well, how do you know you don't trust it? You get that feeling from the ego mind. It comes over you and you go, this is probably not going to happen. And it doesn't. So trust is absolutely imperative. And be sure that this universe will be testing each and every one of us to see how much we do trust. It'll test us to see how bad we really want it by providing many wonderful distractions from continually feeling our goal. Distractions are simply a deep misunderstanding. They are just ordinary life experiences that our minds perceive to be causing us annoyance and delay. However, a life without any hindrances has no spark of creativity, no grist for deeper insight, or the gumption for propose a completely new idea about how to find peace in every experience. The real truth is that any distraction can become a meditation with awareness. We are simply honoring the distracting experience is the right experience that this universe ordered for us. This universe never makes mistakes, ever. Distractions are its way of waking us up. They are little mini destined events we've asked for in order to stop hiding out in our heads and start living in our hearts. When we see how nothing is a distraction, we can hold any intention long enough until it manifests into our lives. This will allow us to stay focused on what we want instead of what we do not want, which will effortlessly magnetize amazing opportunities and people to us. Now, here's a quote that makes a lot of sense by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. When we're challenged and we don't surrender, that is strength. When we look at our physical reality, we know that we are made up of pure energy, intelligence, and consciousness. Everybody and everything around us consists of these three aspects: pure energy, intelligence, and consciousness. And of course, intelligence and consciousness are different forms of energy. Even the stop signs and street pavement have a certain level of aliveness in its subatomic matter. Our consciousness and energy extends out all around us, and it touches everything, even if it's miles and miles and miles away. Have you ever felt like someone was thinking about you, and suddenly the phone rings and it's them? I think we've all had that before happen, more than once. And then most of us say, oh, well, that's just a coincidence. Everything is actually all connected on a very deep spiritual level, which means we are also connected to our already manifested dream, which we're about to experience in the very near future. And as Marilyn Vos Savant stated, being defeated is only a temporary condition. Giving up is what makes it permanent. Being defeated is only a temporary condition. Giving up is what makes it permanent. So, going back a little bit, number one most important question of all time, which is, what is that one intention you really want to manifest? What is that one desire you need to give yourself permission to feel alive again? Allow yourself to feel it now. Let your desire that you thought was impossible surface and show its true face fully. Desire breeds direction in this life. Without following our core desire, we feel lost. When we know what we want to attract, in order to successfully manifest that in our lives, we can relax. We can feel a release of doubt and replace it with a sense of relief. Imagine that you know what you really want to manifest right now. Now, how does that feel? How does that feel? Often, people get stuck in wishing their life would change. You ever been there? Oftentimes, people get stuck in wishing their life would change. They send out wishy-washy energy with their words, thoughts, and feelings. Thus, they get back mediocre results and feel like a failure because they tried to manifest their dreams. They didn't do, they tried. When we are focused, clear, and passionate about our desires and non-attached to the outcome of our actions, we will see the universe, this universe, magically respond to each of our requests. In fact, once we start on this path, it only becomes easier and easier to manifest that which moves us forward towards our goal. As Will Durant stated, forget mistakes, forget failure, forget everything except what you're going to do now, and do it. Today is your lucky day. A lot of us we drag in the past, things that you ever listen to somebody that they're always talking about what they've done, right? Which has no meaning really. All that matters is the now. And they go on and on and on about all the things they've done and what they've done in life and what they've accomplished and everything. It has no meaning. Only to their egos it has meaning. And that's what motivates us to do that. But forget mistakes, forget failures, forget everything except what you're going to do now, and do it. Don't try it, do it. Today is your lucky day. Today is our day to begin the process of attracting success into our lives by setting a powerful intention right in this now. I challenge you to do this assignment. And there's 5 steps. And set the intention to make time for yourself this week to explore raising your manifestation, your manifesting vibration, and see what happens. It is a good thing to remember that you have the power to shift your focus towards the direction of your dreams and plant those seeds that will create success in your future right now. Now, there's 5 decisions, 5 steps to manifesting anything, to manifest any intention. And one would be decide on one thing, not a whole truckload, but decide on one thing you want to attract to you and be specific. Be specific, not wishy-washy, not sloppy. Decide on one thing you want to attract to you and be specific. What is it that you want? Do you want a new job? What kind of job? Do you want more money? How much more money? Do you want peace in your life? Just pick one goal or desire that you would like to manifest. Remember to pick something that you are truly passionate about and fully desire. Many of us will just half-ass it, and then we'll get half-ass results. And write it down on a piece of paper. It's a visualization. That's why we do that. We write it down so we can look at it. Did you know that 90% of people don't write their desires, right? They don't write them down anywhere. And that 90% of people have great difficulty manifesting what they want. 90%. Because they don't write it down. As I recommended a long time ago, go to the bookstore or something, or get a journal. Write all this stuff in it as you go along on this adventure of life. You'd be amazed. You can refer back to it. You can add more. But it's there whenever you want to look at it and intend. So make sure you're not one of those 90% of people that have great difficulty manifesting what they want. So describe the goal in as much detail as possible. Be very, very, very specific. For instance, I want a new career internet marketing. I want a new career internet marketing where I make at least $5,000 a month and work with authentic, supportive, and fun people. Just an example, just to show you the detail. I want a new career internet marketing where I make at least $5,000 a month. You could say $5,000 a week, whatever you want. And work with authentic, supportive, and fun people. Now, state your intention in an affirming sentence, which is written in present tense. Right? State your intention in an affirming sentence, which is written in present tense, not yesterday, not tomorrow. And an example of a sentence could be, I'm now earning $150,000, $100,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $1 million a year in sales and loving it. So you would write this sentence, whatever it would be, on a Post-it or note card. Put it in your journal as well. Then post it in different places at work and at home where you can read it often, such as on your bathroom mirror or on your computer. Repeat this sentence out loud every morning 7 to 10 times. But feel and visualize it. A lot of people just kind of go blah, 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 blah. And what they get in return is blah, 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 blah. And you experience this. Feel and visualize it. Experience it as if it's already happened. This sets a deeper intention in our subconscious minds and creates a heightened sense of awareness and purpose towards manifesting this result. See, once you get this down and the ego mind's out of the way and it doesn't try to get you to doubt and, lack of trust and half-ass it, then you'll be amazed and blown away. So you repeat the sentence, whatever it is that you've intended, 7 to 10 times out loud every morning. Feel and visualize it. Experience it as if it's already happened. This sets a motion of a deeper intention in your subconscious mind and creates a heightened sense of awareness and purpose towards manifesting this result. Repeat this. Trust that it's on its way, and then let it go. Trust that it's on its way. And that means deeply trust without even a fraction of a doubt. Trust that it's on its way and let it go. Breathe as if you could do this exercise for an eternal period of time and have no anxiety about when or where it will happen. That's crucial for all of us. Breathe as if you could do this exercise for an eternal period of time and have no anxiety about when or where it will happen. Now, if you want to skyrocket your vibration, focus on this with the heart mind. Focus on it. Isn't it amazing that we are such powerful supreme beings in these bodies, yet we're disconnected from our power, which is us, that's what we really are. Not negative. It's just a discovery that we can make once we know how to create. How are we creating? The funny thing is that we're all creating 24/7. But we don't have the trust that we are. Isn't it ironic that we, all of us, have all this power, yet we don't know how to use it? It's a great lesson for the gods that we are in these bodies. We have all this power housed in each of these bodies, yet we don't know how to use it. So it's no different, say that you have a fleet of whatever fancy automobile you would like, but you have a fleet of them, right? But you never have learned how to drive. Or a fleet of jets, but you've never learned how to fly. And there's no pilots around, and there's no one else around that can drive those vehicles but you. And this is not much different. What we're doing is by going within, we're learning how powerful we are through the heart mind. Not the head, not the ego mind. We've been there long enough. We really don't care to be there any longer. The exciting part that you feel in your heart mind right in this very moment is that you know that you have this power. It's not a joke, not something made up, it's not a fairy tale, even though fairy tales are real. It's the truth. It's like somebody that doesn't know they're superhuman strong, right? And so they're going through life, and then something happens where they have to exercise this superhuman strength to save a life, maybe. They lift a heavy weight and throw it far away with ease, like a Superman, right? And then all of a sudden they say, how did I do that? And everybody's in awe and say, how did you do that? And they say, well, I guess I'm just very strong. And they never knew they were before. And if you don't know your own strength, you could crush people's hands, right? So you don't know how strong you are. How many times have you come across anybody where you shake their hand or they give you a hug and it's like it almost crushes you, but they don't know that they're that strong? See, it's no different than we don't know how powerful we are to direct our attention through the heart-mind to create anything we desire. And we do it one thing at a time. Not a whole bunch, one thing at a time. And the kicker is, excuse me, the real kicker is most of us do not believe that we have this power. We don't believe it. Now, it doesn't mean we don't believe it. We don't believe it subconsciously, and we question it consciously. So what does that do? For the majority of us, it negates our ability to manifest anything we desire. It negates it. And so then most people get frustrated and irritated and, oh, I tried that. It doesn't work. You're wasting your time. But it's knowing oneself. Most of us are so distracted through lifetime after lifetime of looking outside of ourselves. It isn't a negative, bad thing, but we get that way. We get so involved out there, don't we? If you were put in an underground living quarters, right? Everything was nice. It was palatial. You had your swimming pool. You had your jacuzzi. You had all the creature comforts that any wonderful, like a big home would have, right? But you never had access to television, internet, newspapers, anything. You had no access to any of that stuff. You had no access to books, period. And you started out as a baby and you went through that life for many years. Now, what would you be worrying about? What would you be stressing about? What would you be fearing about? What would you be negative about? There would be none of that programming that had any way of infiltrating you. So you wouldn't worry. You wouldn't even have a care in the world. All that you would know is that you were living in this facility. You had no education about history because history's a lie anyway, most of it. All of this prefabbed information you wouldn't have been exposed to. But there was one book, one book that you would read constantly. And all that book read, the title of that book was Discovering the God Within You. And you read it as a child, as a young child. That was the only source. Like when we were kids, we'd get our favorite little books, bedtime story books and those stories. And we would have a favorite, and we'd read it over and over and over again. Well, this book's like that, except it had many pages, and it took you through the complete understanding of who and what you are as the God that you are in the body and what this means and all the levels and all of the stages and all of the chakras and all of the bodies within the body. And you would read this over and over again and begin to comprehend it. So what you believed, right? What that being believed, not being exposed to anything but that, they would manifest anything like that. They wouldn't worry. They wouldn't have doubt. They would have total trust in themselves. And the reason that we don't have these things, most of us, is because of how we were influenced, how we were programmed. That's the bottom line. How we were programmed. So when most of us come into a family, right, we're programmed right from the belly of the mother, out of the mother, into the world, and on from there. And it's a total programming. You're programmed by other people's thoughts all through your life. How do you get your character and personality? For the most part, you get it from other people's thoughts. How do you know what your limitations are? The only reason that you have limitations is because of what you've been programmed by other people's thoughts. This can't happen, that can't happen. Oh, you're silly, that's not going to happen. Why are you doing that? It's a waste of time. That's impossible. You're insane. You're crazy. It's society that programs us. What to wear, what to worry about, what to worry about. Oh, they're not going to like the way I look. Oh, well, I like the way I look. Does it matter what they think I look like? All of this stuff. It's just stuff. Some people will say, "Oh, I've spent all kinds of money on seminars and done all this, and it doesn't work for me." It's just I've heard all this crap before. It just doesn't work. You know what? It won't for them. It won't. Guaranteed. 1,000% it won't work for them. So just, with a sheer intent through your heart mind, sitting somewhere quietly, not interrupted. And if you need to put earplugs in and night shades over your eyes, then fine. But get in a comfortable position, focus on the breath, listen to the breath, and make your intention. One of them, right? Even though you might be agitated to do many, one, the prime one that you truly, passionately wish to have, whatever it may be, in your life, in this now. And then repeat it every morning. Feel and visualize it. Experience it as if it's already happened. And then all what this does for you sets a deeper intention in your subconscious mind, and it creates a heightened sense of awareness and purpose towards manifesting the result that you desire, that you want. And it'll happen. Now, however, if you allow the ego mind to come back in and to push you and shove you and say, this isn't going to happen, stop doing this, it's a waste of time, it's silly, and you know it and I know it. And I think one of the most difficult things for any of us is to attune to this, to really understand that we are super powerful, supreme beings in these bodies. We are God. We are divine perfection. We are the kingdom of God. Pure consciousness. I think that's one of the biggest hurdles of mankind, of humanity, of womanity, however you want to say it, and why we don't have the lives we desire. Not to say that the lives that we do have, that we're not, not to say we're not grateful for them and happy and joyous that we do have this body to experience. These are things that we've been programmed, right? Then we're programmed with things that negate our true power within. And we've all been influenced by it, because none of us are exempt. Some more than others. Some less than others. But all of the visuals on the planet, if you will, that we all are experiencing at this time, all of this in and out, up and down, upside down, that, because we're all curious, right? In different ways, but gravitate towards wanting to know this and that. And wanting to know that everything will be okay. I think that's the main. And all along, it's like nothing. We've been fooled. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, or sad about, or disappointed about. We've been fooled. We've been fooled right out of the understanding and connection through our heart minds that we are the God within these bodies, omnipotently powerful, supremely loving God, which means that we have, each of us on this planet have the power to what? To manifest anything we want, almost instantaneously, once we get it down. Now, what would happen, right? What would happen to the planet? What would happen to your lives in the event that this became deeply embraced and known and aware? What do you think would happen to the planet? What do you think would happen to your life? What do you think would happen to everything happening on the planet? Now, of course, everybody has different intents, right? None of us, I don't believe any of us are exactly alike. It makes it more interesting, right? More flavorful, that we each have a different twist here and there. But nonetheless, through the heart mind, I would believe that the entire consensus amongst all of us gods would be to eliminate all lower vibrational frequencies from the planet, which means pure evil, destruction, death, right? Hatred. All of these things. We've all experienced them. All of us have, more than once. We don't care to experience them anymore. You know what I mean? Why would we? We've learned that. We know what anger is. We know what, hatred is, and evil, and manipulation, and greed, and lust for power. We all know what that is. We've all experienced it in one way, shape, form, or another. not just this lifetime, but many. We don't care to experience that anymore. So we would intend that it would vanish. And the way it would vanish is because we would embrace our heart minds. We would have true faith, trust, and confidence in ourselves as the gods that we are, and in this universe, which we are. See, all these parts come together, and then you begin to understand what whole means. Not fractionated, not part here, part there, not emptiness here, fullness here, so on and so forth, but wholeness, oneness. And we choose, right? We choose based upon how we were programmed in this life. And so this is how we respond and react to certain things based upon our programming. Now, we all know that programming can be rewritten. Right? Or, if we were to choose, we could dump the data and replace it with new data. Do a hard drive dump, boom, gone. And slowly but surely, systematically replace it with what we desire and how we desire things to be for us. And I'm not saying that that's a real cinch, right? Because we've acquired certain habits and certain connections, so to speak, most of them connected to illusion. But how else are we going to come full circle and to discover the gods that we are within these bodies if we don't do it? I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. This universe is abundant. I mean massively abundant, undulating, and overflowing with positive energy. Just stop whatever you're doing and notice this. The moment we pay attention to this abundance, and ourselves resisting it from coming in, take a handful of minutes, sometime today, 7, 8, 9 minutes, and meditate on all the abundance in this universe right now. Let your minds get out of the way and explore what it feels like to think, feel expansively. Know that everything you can imagine, everything, you can experience. Know that everything any of us can imagine, we can experience. That's not hooey. That's a universal law fact. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night. We will return here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call and the current raw status, the real status without the fluff, on this planet at this time, of what's really going on. And Thursday, December 1st, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be good to yourselves.